In this video, I share with you how I deal with mental health as an entrepreneur starting my business from zero. My name is David Michelson, and I share this video with you as someone who has dealt with some anxiety and I would say greater levels of stress and definitely a high degree of workload. However, I don't make this video as someone who has been burned out or someone who has had depression or someone who's had suicidal thoughts or something really extreme. And so, of course, I can't speak on what it's like to experience those things. However, I don't think that means I shouldn't make a video explaining how I've gone with the other stuff. And so take from this video what you can and what you will. What I've learned so far is you can't create or achieve anything of significant greatness without a seasonal cost or seasonal sacrifice. If you want to build something that is epic, something that is challenging, and you want great results that are exceptional, you will have to sacrifice something to get there. That is just the simple baseline reality of what it takes. Now, what that level of effort or sacrifice looks like will differ depending on who you are and what you want to achieve. And so in my eyes, there are two major components to dealing with mental health as someone who wants to do something great. It can be in sports as well, but I'm making this video in the eyes of being an entrepreneur or starting a business. And for me, the two things are: how strong is your reason for wanting or needing to accomplish what you want to accomplish? And secondly, how do you base your expectations? First off, how bad do you want it? It's kind of simple in a way that if you want it bad enough, you're willing to go through almost anything. I like to say that anyone can become an entrepreneur and anyone can start a business, but not everyone will. And so even though it's my mission with the Discipline Group to make entrepreneurship available to everyone, that does not mean that everybody is willing to go on the journey and sacrifice what it takes to get the results they want. But if you aren't willing to do it at any price, then probably expectations is where you should put your focus. I quickly interrupt the video to ask you to subscribe. Please do so. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I greatly appreciate your help in helping me get there. And I really like this quote, I think Chris Williamson said on Modern Wisdom, which is, and I'm paraphrasing, but I think he said something in the lines of, give a man a goal and a reason to get there, and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile on his face to get there. And I think that is really saying about how some of the most driven people feel. Because the fact that entrepreneurship or starting a business or becoming a great athlete or really becoming excellent at anything, it is still a matter of getting kicked in the nuts every day or, punched in the gut or crawling over broken glass. It really is that feeling most of the time with small glimmers of hope or, seeing the success or the results. But most of the time, it really is just a lot of hardship and challenges. I think if you manage to find a reason that is strong enough for you for why it needs to happen, not why it would be fun if it happened or it would be nice if it came true, but like, in this one life that I have to make it happen. If you can get to that point, then you will be willing to sacrifice most things. And then that kind of leads us into the expectation part, because setting your expectations up in a way that reflects reality, more so than being pessimistic or optimistic, is super important, because I think it is about acknowledging that achieving greatness in whatever your pursuit is should be linked to seasonality. And why do I say that? I say that because, and this is inspired by Homosi amongst others, but I think if you're okay with sacrificing a lot in a specific time frame, then you will be more okay with enduring that, because you will know that if I can go through this in 5 or 10 years or 20 years, then after that I won't have to go through something like that again. I think the mistake that I've made previously in my life, which is why I didn't get started, was that I thought I had to be successful within 1 month or 6 months. And if I didn't, I would be a failure, and then it wouldn't be worth the effort, or people would laugh at me. And so I think if you have a strong enough reason, and if you acknowledge that, okay, it's gonna be like this for 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years. Like, I'm gonna sacrifice the hell out of basically having a quote unquote healthy normal life, and I'm willing to do that for the things I need to achieve, then you can deal with whatever mental struggles come along the way. But if you think that you shouldn't be dealing with stress and anxiety and feelings of loneliness and possibly depression or whatever comes along the way because you are entitled not to feel that way, then it'll be incredibly difficult for you to keep going, and you will probably stop along the way. And so adjusting your expectations, knowing why you need to do it, is probably two of the strongest reasons I can give you to make it to the end. At least that's my plan, and so far it's working out pretty great. As always, if you found value in this video, please subscribe again, like the video, and I'll see you next Sunday. Stay disciplined.